to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in your very own. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, if you're feeling excited and energized like I am. I have some awesome news today. Well, yesterday now, because we're now in Wednesday, on Tuesday, the 29th of September 2020, an asexual Indian guy hugged me, and it was an absolute dream come true, and I am still so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This guy lives in the UK, and he lives in a city not too far from where I live, and oh my goodness, right? What a journey I've been on in the last few days, because obviously I didn't stream last night. You might be wondering what the heck happened to Sandra. So to cut a long story very short, I have actually got offered an employed job. So, you know, I've been working from home, just from home for the last 3 years. And if you know my story, I was made redundant from a company back in 2017. And so a job has come up, and it's minutes from where I live, and it's the hours I wanted, and it's my dream employed job. And that is packed with my old employer managing a solo store. So I haven't got the contract through yet, but I have been offered the job, and I start soon. So this is absolutely incredible, because I said officially on this channel that when I get my finances sorted out, this is where I will meet my asexual Indian soulmate, which I keep going on about and have gone on about on this channel for the last few years. I wrote about it in my Asexual Perspectives book, right? In 2017, I published this, right? So I've known since 2014 I have a soulmate who's asexual, romantic guy who is Indian. I just know it. I've always known it. I don't know. I just intuitively know it. I think I knew him from past life. Anyway, I knew it. So anyway, you know, I've been looking for my asexual Indian soulmate for absolute years, right? And I told you when I sort my finances out, then basically I think that's when he'll come into my life. Now, when I get the new job, my money situation will be pretty much better and rectified. And yeah, it's my dream job. I always thought 3 years ago when I was made redundant from the company that they would bring a solo store out sometime in the future, and that I would get to be manager of that store, which is basically what I've got. And so hours are really good. I can still do my self-employment. I can still do my asexual stuff. I finish like 5 every day. Well, unless it's customers late in the store. So while everyone's going into online businesses, I'm going back to a bricks and mortar retail business in the kind of like woohoo big times. And it's a brand new store that hasn't even been finished completely being built in the interiors. So yes, so this job offer wasn't until the 28th that I got offered it. 8th's my lucky number, in case you didn't know that. And yeah, so but I'm waiting for the contract to officially launch it on my Facebook page and officially tie everything up to do with other things that I won't be using anymore. So yeah, that's very interesting. I can't wait to start my new job. I was very anxious about it, but now I'm really excited about it. And so yeah, so I got offered that, and then yesterday I was actually busy in the city trying to get some clothes. Well, trying to get clothes in COVID, because we're currently still experiencing COVID times when I'm live streaming this in September 2020. You can't go and try on any clothes at all. So I got some new shoes. My dad gave me some money for getting some suits and a new pair of shoes for work, which was really lovely of my dad. Lots of love, Dad, to you for that. Thank you, because I know my dad watches this channel, so I really appreciate you doing that. It's really lovely. So I got my new shoes. But trying to get clothes is ridiculous because you can't try anything on. And I'm very different fitting. Like my top part of my body is usually different to the bottom part, and it can sometimes be two different sizes. And I'm short as well, so you need slim leg. I've got short legs, and so there's quite a lot of stuff that goes on. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, one of the shops, I went to 3 shops. 2 of them didn't have anything suitable. The 3rd shop, they don't have proper suits. They were the person was trying to mix these outfits together. Anyway, to cut a very, very long story short, in that I was getting very stressed out. Probably this woman in this shop was like, it was New Look actually. She was really good. And she's probably spent about an hour and a half, maybe longer than that, 2 hours or something in the store with me. It was absolutely ages anyway. And so, yeah, it must have been over an hour and a half, actually, more like 2 hours, because it went past 4:30, and I'd already been there for quite a while. It might have even been more than 2 hours because the store was shut at 6, and I think it was coming up to 6 by the time I left. So anyway, to cut a long story short, that one I ordered. I'm telling you this for a reason, by the way, because I always believe in fate. I believe everything happens for a reason. I use my intuition in life, and I'm guided by it. And I believe that you can create your own destiny. I believe you can intuitively lead your life. This is why I'm telling you this, because I'm telling you all the events that led up to this once in a lifetime opportunity that's, to me, is fate, right? So anyway, so I stay in the store for absolutely ages, get very, very stressed and frustrated to the point where I feel a bit in tears, because I got fibromyalgia, as you know, and I can't wear certain trousers, really irritate my tummy, because they press on my pressure points. So I've got to be careful what leg length I get, what type of fit on the legs, and also you can't have anything pressing on my stomach. So it's a kind of like a big task for me, and it kind of draws attention to the fact that I have got a disability, which I try not to think about much, but it does make life more difficult for me. And so on certain things, I try not to let it bother me, but it brought it to my attention. So I was getting very emotional thing inside, because I was feeling very stressed, and obviously with new job and everything. So consider I haven't worked for an employer for 3 years. It's quite daunting in that way, but I've seen the new store being built where I'm going to be managing. It's beautiful outside. I just saw a bit of it. I'm like so excited. I've always wanted to be store manager of a brand new store in that particular company I used to work for, which is just like a dream job for me, because I'm really good at the job and I love the product. So yeah, I knew if I was ever, thanks for the thumbs up. I knew if I was ever going back to an employed job, then I would go for that job. That would be my dream job, and I knew it would happen. I foresaw it 3 years ago. Oh, hi Sam, lots of love to you, lots of love to you. So yeah, so I was in this shop, and I spent like way over like probably hour and a half, 2 hours in this shop with this sales person helping me. I thought she was a manager, but she said she wasn't. So to cut a long story short on that, after all the stress, I came away with 2 pairs of trousers to try on, 2 different sizes, one of which I'll have to take back, if not both of them, because I didn't really like the shape so much, but it's very difficult to even get suits at the moment. And then I ordered 3 jackets. Like 2 is the same, because it's just the same but different sizes. The other one is just got 1 left of that. And there was another pair of trousers I ordered. So basically you have to order all the clothes, then take back what you don't want. And it could be all of it, what's not suitable. And it's really crazy. This is going to go on for 6 months till next March at least. So, when I went in a big department store today, there was virtually hardly any people in the whole of the store, especially on clothing. I can just see that a lot of retail shops who are clothing shops were just literally shut down because they haven't got enough people coming in. You can't try anything on. They specifically make sure that all the fitting rooms are blocked off. They say that you can't use the fitting rooms. I went to one major store today, and they literally didn't even have the toilets open, not even the disabled. I thought it was disgusting, to be quite honest with you. Because a lot of the public toilets are open, and I went to another store and it's fine, but it's like no toilets are open. And I thought, for a big department store that's got like 6 floors, I think it is, they should have a toilet. So that was really difficult as well. It's not good when you're trying to shop and you need the loo. So anyway, so you have to understand, I'm telling you all this because this is how fate works and destiny, right? This is what happens. So I was in the store. this particular store, like I said, I ordered all the stuff. I was in there till nearly 6 o'clock. I wasn't meant to be in there that long. I'm in and ahhing for ages of where to get it, and I thought I'm not too keen so much on these trousers, but she said it's probably the only ones that are going to go with the jacket that are separate. So anyway, so you have to understand that I didn't plan to be in this store for this amount of time. I didn't plan to even necessarily go into this store. I actually forgot to go into it and went back to it. So I would backtrack. So I was further down the city, and then I went back to this particular store, right? So I had no idea I'd be in there for that amount of time. I was feeling really stressed. And then I went out and I went to another shop. I went to Primark, actually, and it's really weird. Like, I had hardly been in there. Like, I just been in there like a few minutes, if that, a couple of minutes, maybe not even that. And I said, where's the suits? This guy said they're in the middle. When I entered the store, so I went in the store, looked in the middle, but they weren't there. So I said to this other salesperson, like, where are the suits? So then this person asked another person and took me to these suits, and I was looking at a suit, grey one, it's quite nice actually, and I turned to this woman because I saw she was having problems like I was, and I said, it's a nightmare, isn't it? You know, you can't try anything on the store, you have to take it home. And she said, yeah. And then we just got talking. And we were talking, and I told her that I was asexual, and she said that she doesn't really think about sex and doing that. And I said, well, possibly you could be asexual too, maybe? And she's like, well, I never really thought about it, but I don't really think about, oh, I'd like to have sex. I don't really go around thinking that type of thing. And she's a teacher. So when my Asexual Guide to Sex book comes out, I want to see if there's any way possible I can get into schools or colleges or universities. This is a big mission of mine now. And so I'm in touch with someone from New York City Education, someone who works with one of the councils there, deals with education, to see what's possible. And I would love to go around to schools or colleges or uni to start doing talks. Obviously, can't do a lot of those in person at the moment. It's probably going to be online. So I spoke to her, and she's a teacher, and she said, oh, yeah, I think that'd be brilliant. So I was telling her about sex education really needs to have asexuality in there as well, so that people, you know, children not growing up thinking they have to have sex in order to get love. I said, because it's really bad. And she said, yeah, it's very important. So she knew about asexuality, not fully. She understood kind of the concept. Some people are not, but she did start asking, you know, about trauma in my childhood. And I said, well, I have had a sexual abuse, but I had all my sex after that, because I've had sex before. So I had all my sexual relationships after that. So it has nothing to do with that. And actually, my ex was abuse. My last long-term ex was abusive every other way but that. So I said, you know, and she had a guy who was like that with her as well. So that was really weird. I'd never heard of that before. So it's just weird. It's possible she could be asexual. She lives literally in the same street as my new job is, just around the corner, well, just up the road from where I live. And it's like, she goes, oh, you can come around and have a meal. Like, I don't even know this person. I'm like, where do you live? Do you live in next door? And she's like, yeah, I live in this street. I'm like, oh, I live in the road just off that street, and that's where my job is, in that street. She's like, oh, I live right next to it. So she's got my cards. It's up to her to email me. I don't actually have her details, but anyway, so I was talking to her in there for ages, right? The time was going on. We must have been talking about asexuality on the shop floor and sex and stuff and no sex for like probably over an hour. And yeah, because it's 6:15. I think, or was it 7:15? 7:15? When was I in New Look? Oh, yeah, no, but the time I came out there, it was only 6:30. So I don't know. I must have come out of New Look actually at 5:30, not 6. So I must have cut. So I think I must have been at New Look for about an hour and a half, maybe. Yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to think of the timings. Anyway, so I said I had to get home because I think it was like between 6:20 and 6:30, I left Primark because I wanted to leave a bit. Because I said to the woman that I've got a video chat with one of my friends, and my best female friend I haven't talked to for ages, and that was at 7 o'clock. And it was coming up to 6:30, but I don't think, maybe it wasn't quite 6:30. And I said, I have to go. And actually, I was going to leave because I said, I looked at my watch, on my phone, I think it was 16 minutes past 6. And I said I was going to leave. And she still carried on talking to me. So I went back to listen to her. because she seemed the type of person that really needed someone to listen. So you have to understand all these timings, right? I was in New Look for far longer than I should have been. I was talking to this woman in Primark, and she's possibly asexual, lives near me, and she works in this, well, she hasn't got a school placement yet, but she's worked in schools before, but it's like kindergarten type thing. So she works with really young children, but she still said some kids need to be known about this type of thing from an early age these days. So anyway, so I was actually going to leave there earlier at least one time, and the conversation still kept going on. So you have to understand this, right? This is just how fate works, right? So eventually I left, and I thought, God, I'm gonna be late for my friend if I'm not careful. And so I went down 4th Street in Exeter, right? And there's a gym at the right-hand side, right? And this guy just walked in my eye line, right? And he looked like he'd been to the gym. I mean, he's musty, got like a musty chest, nice frame, and he looked like he'd just come out of the gym, and he looked like he was holding his chest, so he looked like he had some sort of pain in his chest, so I thought he might have hurt himself at the gym. And I noticed that he looked like he was Indian, even though he had a mask on, because he had coloured skin and that type of hair. So I literally walked next to him, and I said, hi. And he said, hi. And he looked at me with a look that was like, oh, wow, I really want to talk to you, look. Like, you get the feeling that some guys don't really want to speak to you, and this was the opposite. This was like, wow, she's talking to me type look. So I knew that he was interested in talking to me, because it was like, oh, wow. It's like when you see someone stunningly beautiful for the first time, or someone who just like, I don't know, they have this magnetic pull or mesmerize you. It was like he was looking like that at me. I could tell that. It was like, wow, like, hi, back, like. So anyway, he then stopped to talk to me. And usually it's me kind of like completely keeping the conversation going, right? But he clearly wanted to talk to me. So instead of he did say, oh, hi. And then he said, I can't remember who went first, but I said to him, oh, have you been to the gym? I think it might have been me, because I said, he said, oh, I'm a no, or something. He said, I took a protein shake, because I said, you're holding your chest. He goes, yeah, I took a protein shake or something. He goes, but I am a personal trainer. And I said, oh. And because I said, are you like studying here or what? He goes, I'm a personal trainer, but I'm over in, he comes from Plymouth, but he was in Exeter for having a job interview for some care work. So he doesn't usually live in my city. And I said, I knew he wanted to carry on talking to me. I thought, you cannot let this guy go, Sandra. You just can't let him go, right? You've got to carry on talking to him, right? So I said that I got to get back to see my friend soon. I said, oh, okay. And I thought, I can tell he wanted to talk to me. So I thought, you've got to get this guy to connect with you. You can't let him go. So I said to him, oh, do you want to connect on Facebook then? Because I said, I've got to go. So I'm like, I've got to go because I'm going to be late. I said, do you want to connect on Facebook? And he's like, oh, yeah. So he typed in his name in my phone, which was very romantic. I let him have my phone to type his name in, because it was initials, not really. And he's like, oh, there's loads of people with my initials. It wasn't his full name. So, so then he found himself on Facebook, and then you couldn't friend him. You could only follow him. I said, oh, but that's a follow, not a friend. And he said, oh, sorry about that. I didn't realise it must be in my settings. So anyway, so lovely. And so anyway, on his Facebook, I was then looking at his Facebook with him stood near me. I was looking on his Facebook, I said, and he goes, oh yeah, this is the parade in Plymouth, and a theatre parade. And he was like with one of the dragons, like going like this along with the dragon, because he's done theatre work before. And so I was like, but it looked like a pride parade, LGBT parade. So I thought, oh, this is probably a good way to bring asexuality up. So I said to him, I'm very good at thinking on my feet. It's a gift I have. Maybe it's because I have anxiety, but it's used to my advantage. It's a beautiful gift. So anyway, I said, oh, is this like a pride parade? Like for LGBT plus? And he's like, oh no, not exactly, he said. And I said, only the reason I ask is because I'm asexual. And he turned around to me and says, well, he said, oh, you must have he turned around and said to me that, yeah, he turned around and said to me, well, you must have smelt the asexual in me. That's why you're attracted to me. And because I don't get turned on. And I said, oh, so you know I'm attracted to you then? And he said, oh, I meant that you were attracted to me because you smelt the asexual in me. In other words, I sensed he was asexual without even knowing him. And I did say that I'd met this other person, I think, in another shop, I said, and I think I might have said they happen to live near me or something. But obviously that's female. I'm not interested in female. But anyway, and I said, oh well, and when he was on about the attraction, I said, well, actually, I am attracted to foreign guys with coloured skin. I didn't say it was Indian guys specifically. And he said, oh, and I said, oh yeah, I think coloured skin's very beautiful. And he's like, oh, thank you. And I said, oh, so what are you, an Indian guy then? And he's like, oh, well. And he said something, and he said, well, you could call me a Tamil Indian guy. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. And I'm like, that's great. And anyway, so I thought you cannot just, because the Facebook, we weren't friends on, I was following him. And I said that he would have to look in his other inbox because I just messaged him hi. And so I thought, I cannot let him go. I have to have another way of contacting this guy, because that wasn't enough to just follow him. I needed to actually be able to communicate with him. So I said to him, oh, well, shall I take your phone number then? And he's like, yeah, that'd be fine. So I took his phone number. He saw me and I asked him his real name, his Indian name. So I said, oh, that's a nice name. So I took his phone number. He said, oh, like, send me a message and ping me on it so I know it's you. So I said I sent him a quick hi before I went. And I said, I've got to go now. And then he said to me, can I hug you? And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, we're not supposed to do this because of social distancing. Then I thought, excuse my language, I thought, fuck it, you only live once, right? I'm not letting this opportunity go. This is like my dream, to hug an asexual Indian guy in the UK. This is like my dream. Obviously, it's more than I would like to be in a relationship with an Indian guy in the UK. You know that. But this is getting closer to like my dream. And like to hug, when he hugged me, it was like not a normal hugging stranger hug. The feeling was like he felt so warm. Like, even though he's really muscly, his chest is beautiful. Like, I just felt like, because I always associate muscles with coldness and armadillo and horribleness, but he's got a really lovely frame. His frame is very nice. His chest is really nice. I thought you could see a bit of it through this thingy top. And I'm like, oh my God. And yeah, the hug, it just felt so warm. And I'm like, oh God, I wish I could cuddle this guy. Like, it felt that nice, honestly. Like, it was definitely the feeling, that the warmth, the electric, the connection. It was not a normal hugging stranger hug. It was like incredible. And so I then went off and said, oh, I better go back to my friend. And I think he was seeing his friend as well. Because he said he was next to seeing he said he was seeing his friend as well. So I thought he was in an interview for Care Work, yeah, and then seeing his friend, I think, yeah. And anyway, so I went back home and I was just beaming and smiling all the way home. And then I was going through the underground like passage bit, like I can't even remember what it's called. I'm that like gooey eyed, and I was like going, he hugged me, he hugged me, he hugged me, he hugged me. Oh my God, he hugged me, he hugged me. And I was like beaming. I was so excited and elated. I could just feel it. And it just felt so great. And I'm like, what are the odds of me meeting an Indian guy at that time who is actually asexual? There isn't. It was meant to be. 100%. This is what I tell you. Spirituality is really real, and intuition's really real, and law of attraction's really real, and you can make things happen. I'm telling you. So long as I have to follow my intuition, because if I don't, things go wrong, right? I've got to follow my intuition 100%, right? And it felt so good to have this hug. I mean, I was thinking I'd love to cuddle this guy. I love his chest. I'd love to have my head on his chest cuddling him. That's how good it felt. I mean, it was just incredible feeling, like the best ever in my life in terms of like romantic attraction. And he had a beard though. He had facial hair behind his mask, but he had lovely hair on top. So he had some facial hair, but I couldn't see facial hair. But it's just a hug. I just thought, oh my God, even though you got facial hair, I still love your hug. Honestly, beautiful. And I actually liked his chest, even though it's musty. I really liked his physique. Because I said, oh, you're buff. Like, I don't usually speak like that to guys. The buff on his chest I was talking about. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's really weird. I thought, well, maybe there must be a thing I could not mind with him, because to me, it's just like his body's like chest's really beautiful and nice. like the upper part, obviously. Well, yeah, he's just really, 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 really nice. I'm like, oh my God, Sandra, your dream has come true. You hugged an Indian asexual guy who lives in the UK, not far from where you live. It's just incredible. So anyway, I'm going down really happy under the subway. And then he sent me a message saying it was lovely to meet you. And shall I read it out? I'm not going to say everything, okay? But I will read this because it was really nice. Sweet message. Oh my God. So he said, hi, Sandra. This is when, after I'd left. This was 5 minutes after I left him. 5 minutes. Timing matters, people. Hi, Sandra. Lovely running into you with a kiss. Take care. And then I said, I don't hold back in how I feel about him straight away. You know what I'm like? Blunt, direct to the point. I'm going to carry on being like that because I know I have an Indian asexual soulmate. It's possible this guy could be it. You never know. Or maybe I do know. And so it's like, I put, yeah, it was amazing running into you too. Thanks for being naughty and giving me a hug. I appreciated that. With a kiss. And he said, it was my pleasure. Thanks for welcoming it with your warmth. And he used the word warmth before I did, right? So he felt that my hug was warm, and I felt that about him. And I thought, And he said, hope you had a good time with your friend. I just about entered. They got back home, basically, to their city. So anyway, cut a long story, carry on short. We've been messaged on Facebook Messenger quite a bit tonight. And yeah, it's amazing. Like, he said to me, he likes me too. And that he wished I was there to hug him good night in bed. I know he meant that actually. I know he didn't mean that sexually. I'm like, oh my God, because that's why I wish I was there to cuddle him. That's what I was thinking. And I've only just met this guy. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm so happy right now. Like, I'm just really happy. And he definitely doesn't want kids of his own. He's not married. He hasn't got children. He doesn't mind marriage, or I think he's quite into it. And he said it's philosophical, but I told him I'm not into marriage. And he said he would never actually have kids physically, which obviously is asexual. And I saw his profile, and there isn't anything sexual on it. I mean, he does a lot of physical training, but there's no, like, he doesn't even say he's interested in women on his profile. And yeah, I'm just like, wow. Like, he's told me that he likes me too. And he wishes I was there to hug him goodnight. I'm like, oh my God. I felt the same way. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to say it's great. It's wonderful. Whatever happens. Like, I thought tonight, before we even started messaging a lot on Messenger, I thought, even if nothing else ends up happening with him, I'm just so glad I've had my dream and he made it come true of hugging an asexual Indian guy in the UK. That just makes me so happy, regardless of what happens, whether he likes me more. You know, 'cause some people are strange. They do things even if they've got a girlfriend and they don't say anything, and they like hug whoever, because they're just like wanting to like be like that with different people, you know. So I didn't know where he was coming from in that respect, and I didn't know if it was just like meant anything or if it's just like but I mean, the fact he asked me to do that pretty much meant he wanted me close to him when I was even like there, if you know what I mean. So I was just like, wow, this is incredible. And yeah, he's already been saying some lovely stuff to me. Like he said, oh, about um being his good friend and about being one of his loved ones or something. I've come across Indian guys before who say loved ones, and they mean that just as a friend. So I didn't know if he meant that just as a friend, but the fact he said, I like you too, and I wish you were here to hug me like when I'm going to sleep in bed, I thought, well, yeah, he obviously likes me more than a friend. Um, which was like, wow. So yeah, I'm just really happy at the moment. Like, what can I say? Like, it's a dream come true. I mean, obviously, I don't know this person in the sense I've just met this person, but I don't think they've got any bad intentions. I think they are asexual, and I think they appreciate me, and I just think I'm good for them. Yeah. So, what are the odds of meeting an asexual Indian guy like that with all the timings I've told you about? You know, with the way things happen in my day. Because if I hadn't spent such a long time in the New Look store, basically, that's where I was for like an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours. If I hadn't spent so much time in there, I wouldn't have bumped into this guy. If I hadn't have been Primark for a long time, and even longer than I had an extra quarter of an hour nearly in there, 10, 15 minutes, I wouldn't have bumped into this guy. It only happened that I bumped into this guy within a minute or so of me missing him. Like, I was going down 4th Street and he just happened to be there. But 4th Street is off the High Street, and I don't know which way he turned into the 4th Street. So the whole timing was just perfect. And I couldn't even see his face, remember, because he had a mask on, you know? But anyway, I'm feeling elated right now and really happy and like, wow. I feel like a romantic movie has just happened in my life and that all my dreams are coming true now. And I just feel like I'm on top of the world and want to float on a cloud. I feel so romantically high right now. It's just unreal. And it's like, yeah, he's from his profile, he's just had his 30th birthday, like this month, September. So he's actually 30. So he was 29 until this month. Yeah. So, but yeah, he looks amazing. Like, interesting person. And so, yeah, he's spiritual as well. Because I did tell him when before the hug happened, I told him that I'd been looking, I was on asexual dating sites. I've been looking for my asexual soulmate since 2014. But I'm very different to other asexuals in the fact I love kissing so much. So I hadn't met my ideal partner, because a lot of asexual guys are not into kissing like I am, and I'm really into kissing, like really into kissing. Like I must have said about 2 or 3 times. But yeah, I mean, asking me for a hug, especially at these times, just meant so much to me. You know, it's just like it was like it wasn't a normal hug. It was one where you feel something for someone. I know it was. It was incredible and beautiful, and I just gobsmacked. Sam, oh bless you. Lots of love to you, my best friend. Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm just like gobsmacked. Like, I mean, we don't know each other, but I just feel I do know them in some way. I know their heart. I recognise their heart. It's beautiful. I'm just really happy. I don't, you can't say it's going to happen, but right now I just feel so amazing. I just feel so happy. Like, I feel so happy. Like, I honestly, when I was walking down to my home, I just thought, I just want to cuddle him. I just want my head to be on his beautiful chest, even though it's muscly. I don't care about it. I actually like his chest the way it is. He's a personal trainer, so he does it all the time. Like, I've watched loads of his videos on Facebook, and he's totally into body training all the time with all different weights and things for his legs and everything. Like, do you know what I mean? It's part of who he is. You could never take that away from him. I would never want to. He needs that in his life. It's his core and his centre being, and he wants to he's studying as well, and he yeah, he's studying as well. So I need to find out more about this guy. But yeah. So I think he might be British born, but I'm not sure. Or I don't know how long he's been over here, because he's studying. So he's studied 2 things. And then he wants to study stage 3 to be a physio. He wants to work for the NHS though, so he must want to stay over here. He told me that. He wants to work for the NHS. So yeah, obviously there's a hospital in my city, which is meant to be a really top hospital. So yeah, but I think there's a hospital in his city as well. So yeah, I'm just like blown away by him, really. Like, he's not my usual specific, but he's, I don't know, I just felt in that one hug, I just felt something like I've not felt before. It was amazing. I just can't describe it, really, other than when he put it in the word in the text, warmth. That was what I thought from him. I thought it just feels like you're snuggling. It wasn't even snuggling. I wasn't cuddling him. I just had a hug from him. But the hug felt like it was more like the feeling of warmth just felt warm and snuggly, if you know what I mean. But in terms of looks, he's different to the usual Indian look I would go for. He's older, a bit older as well, quite a bit older than 30 as well. But I think it's good to have someone a bit older anyway in that respect, because they kind of know what they want a bit more in their own mind, a bit more in theory. In theory, doesn't necessarily mean to say it's true. But yeah, I just felt really good. And he's into superhero stuff, so he's into cosplay, and he likes dressing in the store or Iron Man. And when he said Iron Man, because I saw him having a superhero costume like t-shirt thing. He goes, "Oh yeah, I do cosplay." And he goes like Thor or Iron Man. I'm like, Iron Man's my favorite. I actually used to joke about, oh, maybe I'll be with a guy who dresses like Iron Man. Maybe I end up with a guy who does dress like Iron Man now. I can be very attractive. I really want to snog Iron Man. If the person, because I am actually attracted somewhat to Robert Downey Jr., although I have no idea why, because he looks a bit foreign, that's why. But he's older. That's why I don't actually think I could kiss him, because I think he'd be a bit too old for me. But yes. Anyway, I just like really get the feeling I wanted to cuddle this guy, like really like put my head on his chest and just be in his arms. And just like, I can't describe it. I just can't stop smiling. I just feel so good. Right. It's like, wow. But what you can understand what I'm saying, can't you? I mean, the likelihood of that happening, it could only be fate. It could only be spiritual fate. Or only. I mean, of all the people to talk to, this guy happens to be asexual. Out of all the people I could have spoke to, and even actually the woman I think might be asexual as well I spoke to. I'm very good at this. I'm very good at being able to end up talking to people that happen to be asexual. It's really strange. But this guy, yeah, he goes, I don't get turned on. And he goes, he prefers a personality. He said before he hugged me, I prefer a person's personality. He said, I'm more attracted to the personality. And something else did he say? And he said, I'd like to have a conversation about spirituality at one point with you. And I said this before the hug and the bye. I said, oh yeah. Well, it's definitely before I had to say goodbye. I said, oh yeah, we could have a video chat on Facebook. If you wanted to at some point. And tonight before he went to sleep, he said that he would like to video. He said, I would like to video chat. He said, could we carry on talking on Messenger, Sandra? And I would like to video chat with you at some point, but he's really busy and I'm really busy because he does a lot of work as well. Of course, he's going to, isn't he? I mean, theoretically, if he was my soulmate, he would be doing loads of stuff like that anyway, theoretically. Because obviously I do loads of stuff. And he can cook, clean, and look after himself. He's already said that. He does have a lot of facial hair. In some of these pictures, he has mountains, but I told him I like clean-shaven guys. He said he can adapt to any look on that. Because he's done theatre work before. But yeah, he's had really long beards. It looks a bit like Dumbledore's length in Harry Potter, that type of length. But yeah, but he looks much better clean shaven, even though he's different to the look I would usually go for. I just feel his heart. I feel he's got a nice heart. I could tell that straight away. You feel the heart. Just feel it. I do want someone who loves my personality more than anything about me. So, but I know he liked the way. I know from the moment I said hi to him, I saw his face, and it was like, wow, I really want to talk to you. I just know that about him. I saw the look on his face. I have not had someone look at me like that before that I can ever remember in that way. I mean, obviously, I do have a lot of guys interested in me, but it's different. But he said, oh, women don't get sexually attracted to me, which is nice for me to know, isn't it? And I said, oh, guys get sexually attracted to me all the time, but I'm not interested. So that was good. That's a good thing. So yeah. Yeah, so that's really good. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm just a bit stunned that a dream like that's actually come true. Oh, I always knew it would, obviously, because I believe in myself 100%. And I believe that I do have an Indian asexual soulmate, categorically. I've always believed that. I always will believe that. I know that. And like I said, I don't think I'd be happy being in a relationship with a British guy because I think I'd always be thinking, what if with the Indian guy? And I told you, honestly, I had been attracted to a British guy somewhat recently. But luckily, I guess, because he told me he couldn't be in a relationship with me anyway, because we live too far apart. But we're really good as friends. And we're video chatting later today, actually. So that'll be really nice. I think we've got somewhat of a close and special bond. But, Indian guy, I need to be with an Indian guy. They know it as well. So the fact they said they definitely couldn't be in a relationship with me anyway is to my favour, really. And it's nice they've said that as well, because I know they had feelings for me as well. And so it's nice they've decided that. Do you know what I mean? They've made the decision for me and them. But throughout that time, I've always said that I prefer an Indian guy anyway. Like, I do. Need to be with an Indian guy. Because if I was with a British guy, I'd always be having in the back of my mind, what if my Indian guy showed up and then I'd ended up with a British guy and I really need to be with my Indian guy. So, I mean, literally, this guy I met tonight, I could just literally put my head on his chest and him stroke my hair, and I'd be very happy, even if I wasn't kissing all the time. Just to be near his heart would be amazing. I just like I have this thing with Indian guys, particularly him. He's really nice, and it's just like mesmerizing. It's like looking at a painting that is just the most beautiful painting in your whole life, and all you can do is sit there staring at it, gooey-eyed, just for the rest of your life, looking at this beautiful painting every single day of your life, just taking in the scenery and feeling breathtaking every single time. That's how I feel about being with the right Indian guy. Because I get bored easily, right? But in a relationship, if I was with an Indian guy and I was just looking at his beautiful face all the time, I could never get bored with that. Just sitting there staring at his face would be enough to keep me occupied in quieter times, like when I wasn't doing my work, just to look at him and be like, wow, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just be incredible, just be incredible. So yeah, I've had my next Indian dream come true. Obviously, I had where I kissed an Indian guy, but he was sexual last year. But even though I kissed that Indian guy in the nightclub for an hour, I didn't feel what I feel for this guy who's just given me one hug. Not at all. I feel something for this guy straight away, the warmth. I feel electricity. I feel in an asexual way. I just feel it straight away. I honestly went down the street thinking, I just want to cuddle this guy. I just want my head on his chest cuddling. I like his chest. I love his chest, even though it's muscly. It's just beautiful. Because his heart's really warm. It's like electric to my own. It's beautiful. But obviously there's loads I need to know about this person. But at the moment I'm in the in terms of romantic feelings, you could say I'm not saying love, because I don't want to talk like that at the moment, but if I was analysing, I'd say you're in the loved up, I'm about to climb Mount Everest and sing from the rooftops, fly in a cloud, jump up and down, screaming with excitement, really happy and elated phase, which is like on cloud nine. Like really, I feel just like so like excited in my body. Like I'm so happy. It doesn't matter what anything else that happens in my life at the moment. I'm just so happy, like permanent state of happiness. Like all my anxieties and worries about other things just melt away. And like my whole body, instead of feeling anxious, it just feels in a permanent state of happiness and aliveness and vibrancy and energy. And it just feels so good. I just feel like I'm really alive and I'm on top of the world and I'm like, in the clouds, and the romantic feeling is just like off the Richter scale. Like I feel like I'm on cloud nine floating around, and everything's just colourful and wonderful and the whole world's just incredibly happy and I just love it. That's how I feel right now. Obviously I'm a hyper romantic, and so in terms of romance, it's just like no other feeling in the world. I mean, seriously, it's just I can't describe it. It's like getting probably dopamine like 25,000 times and being on top of the pile of dopamine that's just like soaring you into the clouds of candy floss and pink hearts. It's like so awesome. And that's just the way I feel right now. I'm quite aware that I don't know this person, that, you could end up not fitting in with each other. And I've only just met them. I am quite aware of that logically, but in my heart, it's kind of like I'm just enjoying the rightness of it now in the moment and how wonderful the feeling is and how special the hug was. Like for someone to ask me to hug them, especially at the moment when you're not supposed to, it's just like wonderful that he asked me to do that. And he didn't expect it. He asked me as well, which I just thought it was incredible. I just really liked his heart was so warm. Like, how can you feel that just by that one time? Because I think it's because you have feelings for that person instantly. They're like, fill all your soul up and your body. And so it's like an instant ball of energy from one heart to another. It's just really sensational. I can't describe it. I'm so elated right now. Like, I can't stop smiling. Like, I just feel on cloud nine. I feel like I just want to soar up to the sky on a helicopter and shout from the rooftops. Stuff that I probably shouldn't shout already. So I better not. I keep thinking about love songs and stuff. I was thinking about Dirty Dancing, and I wanted to sing, now I've had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before, and I swear it's so true, and I owe it all to you. That's what I wanted to sing. That's how much I want this experience with this guy, this beautiful guy. That's just like how it made me feel. That's from the film Dirty Dancing, by the way, in case you didn't already know, that cool time of my life. It's just so I just can't stop saying the same things. I'm so happy. I wanted to do this stream like ages ago, but I had them messaging me. I'm like, I can't stop messaging them, you know? I really can't. I just wanted to carry on messaging for like ever. But they're gone to sleep now, so yeah. But it's like, it's really nice. So special. Like, I just feel really happy. You know? Do you know what I mean? It's like he's Indian. He said he's not like conventional Western guys. And you know, I need someone who's not like a conventional Western guy, as in marriage, kids. Because he's got a friend that's married. I got wife and kid, and I said, because I said, do you have a nice time with your friend? He said, yeah. Then he went back home to his wife and kid, and I'm like, oh, have you got wife and kid? And he's like, no, he wouldn't want to have kids. He'd be open to marriage though. But yeah, and if he did have kids, sorry, he said he would adopt, not have them the sex way, basically, which is understandable when you're asexual anyway. So yeah, I just thought, wow, I just feel great. I feel really good about this. I think he really likes me equally. I feel that. You know, I feel good if he wasn't sure to tell me that before, but when he said about hugging him before he went to sleep, basically, you know that that's not normal for someone to say that, and he really must like me a lot, you know? I just thought I just love to cuddle him, like, for eternity. And don't forget, I'm talking about cuddling. I'm not even talking about kissing here. You have to understand this. I would just love to be in this guy's cuddle. Even if he wasn't kissing me, I just love to have my head on his chest. I honestly would love that. Without even thinking about kissing him. Seriously, I just love it. I think I would be very peaceful. I think he would as well. I don't know what else to say, but I'm just really happy. Would be nice if he turned out to be the one, wouldn't it? If he was a good guy and right for me. But I've only just met him, so I better just enjoy the moment and be grateful and thankful for this opportunity right now. But I did say as soon as I saw my finances out, the asexual Indian guy would turn up. And I've got the job offer that I've accepted, but I haven't got the contract through yet. And so it makes sense that he would show up after that. Maybe I didn't think so soon, but yeah, if he is the soulmate. But I will not say any more on that because I'm just happy to have had a wonderful experience with an asexual Indian guy in the UK who's got a beautiful heart and feels warm. And I just think that's good enough for now. And I'm happy about that. So yeah. I just think it's great, it's really, really good. I'm happy you have had a happy experience. Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. It's really good. I mean, obviously, I've got to know the guy a lot more first. My head is literally in the clouds at the moment. I'm well aware, like I'm having to say to myself in the kitchen, your head is in the clouds at the moment. Your heart is like completely gone to this person in terms of fullness, in terms of relationship kind of thoughts. But at the end of the day, I'm still single at the moment, and I won't get into a relationship with someone unless I think they're right for me. And also, I need to get used to this person as a friend. Really, well, obviously, we like each other more than a friend straight away, so that's kind of like we've skipped that stage already. But they did say they consider me a good friend anyway already, so I just have to get to know them as a friend, like regardless of feelings. And I need to know a lot more about the person. They need to know a lot more about me, because just because I have this feeling now doesn't mean to say that something, I have to know more about the person. They have to know more about me, basically. Just has to be that way, I've only just met them, but I'm saying in of the experience of hugging an asexual Indian guy in the UK who I actually felt something with, I guess in that moment, was just the most incredible experience of my life, really. Because I really want to be with an asexual guy. I can never see me being with a sexual guy. I really want an asexual guy. I think an asexual guy would be right for me. I can't be with someone who wants sex. I just can't. The whole thing just repulses me, I just can't be with someone who wants that sexual tension, that sexual energy, that. And if I know a guy likes that, I'd always feel guilty that I wasn't fulfilling that, and I probably think it'll feel not just guilty but distant, like I could never really be part of their soul because they've got this sexual side to them that I just don't have, and therefore I couldn't fully experience a complete 100% soulmate experience with them. Whereas with an asexual Indian guy, I could at least have a possibility of having the 100% soulmate experience, because they would love in the same way as me. If they're a romantic asexual like me, obviously if they're not a romantic person, then they wouldn't. But there's an opportunity there to have exact love reciprocated and to have a deep soulmate connection like no other, without sexual attraction being involved or needed or wanted. And you can get to the person's complete soul like that. You can feel their heart. You can feel every bit of them being without the genitals ever being involved. Genitals, to me, they just happen to be there for functionary purposes the majority of the time, And I'm always attracted to guys' upper body. You know that, I've said that before. But yeah, so I just have to know that it, like Sam said, it's a very happy experience for me. It's just incredible. I always know love or feeling from a asexual guy like that is always going to be 10, 20, 30, 40 million times better than any love from a sexual guy. Because I don't relate to sexual love. To me, love and sex are two completely different things. I just never associated them together whatsoever. Never. I just don't put them together. They're not the same thing. But a lot of sexuals, sexual love it is to them. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's not my thing. Really isn't my thing. So yeah. Anyway, I have to eventually come down off cloud 9 and make sure I'm being very logical. But until that time, I just stay on cloud 9 for longer. I think it's good. I mean, obviously, I don't know how this is going to pan out. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know anything. I do know. I feel that guy is very warm. I feel his heart is very warm, and I like that about him. And he does a lot of stuff. And he dresses as Iron Man. That's a Brucey bonus. He dresses him more than just Iron Man. But the fact he likes superhero movies is a big plus for me, obviously. Because I like superhero movies, as you know. It's a big plus for me. The fact he don't live too far away is a plus as well. And he's no doubt a very intelligent guy and can clean up after himself. And the fact he doesn't need biological kids is a huge thing. I don't want kids at all, but and he's not a conventional Western guy. That's another huge tick. And he doesn't like drink, lots of like drunken behaviour. It's another tick. So yeah, he has actually got a really nice chest and physique, I have to say that. It's really beautiful. He's got nice hair on top of his head as well. I did actually say to him a text earlier, I'm like, oh, F it, I'll just write. I said, oh, you got nice hair. I like I don't know if you thought I meant facial hair, because then I saw pictures of him. He's got loads of facial hair, which is not my type of thing. I can't really be that asexually attracted to someone with a load of facial hair. I'm romantically attracted sometimes. Well, in his case. But maybe just one time. But yeah, so there you have it. An outstanding experience. Finally met an asexual Indian guy in the UK. And yeah, there we have it. Dream come true, finally. Waited for 6 years for that to happen. 6 years. Over 6 years. Yep, it's good. I feel really good about it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to look forward to conversing with him some more and seeing how that goes. I have to remember to keep my feet on the ground, keep my options open, which makes me laugh because it's like, okay, I can keep my options open, but obviously I like him. So I need to have water. But yes, I'm still a single girl, and I will keep my options open until a commitment happens and I'm agreeable to it. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know what to say apart from I love the feeling. It's like incredible feeling. Feels so good and right. Do you know what I mean? Like, feels really good and right. It's incredible. Like, if you could see my ceilings right now and you'd see how I felt, I'd be like shooting up out of it, let alone stuck to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I'm on top of the world. I'm really happy that it's come at a very good time because I was having some anxiety issues and now I'm the opposite. Now I've only got these amazing feelings in my body. Now I'm going to go to a job, back into employed work, being so happy because I'll feel like, oh, I've finally got my finances sorted out and my Indian guy has turned up, possibly. Like, at least getting closer to him anyway, if it's not. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm thinking definitely need this job. Gonna enjoy it, and I'll still gonna carry on my self-employment stuff as well, and all my books, my Asexual Guide to Sex book. I'm still hot on the case of getting that complete. I've got a Asexual online meetup this weekend as well. So what more can I say? Life is good. So good. But he can't video chat with me for a little while because he's busy as well as me. But he said to keep in touch by messenger, which is nice. So yeah, I guess I'll get to know him more through messaging. So that's good. Yeah. Amazing. And I like the fact he's busy. It asexually turns me on. That's it. I get attracted to someone who's busy, actually. Busy and doing lots of things because I think it's a very attractive, energetic thing. Do you know what I mean? I like that. It turns me on, not to have sex, turns me on to them as a person. Turns me to really being attracted to them asexually. Because I just think I love the energy. I love energy and vibrancy. and progress in life. It makes me very attracted to that person more. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, Sam, it is amazing. Yeah, it's just like really good. Because I was thinking when he said he did theatre work, I mean, that's very creative, isn't it? I've done some acting work too. I think you might be a star sign that's compatible with me as well. So yes. And I met him the day after, the 28th. Wow, I just can't stop smiling. I'm just sitting here smiling. I just want to talk about this experience for the next 20 hours or something, but I have to go. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm video chatting with my friend who's British, who I get on really, really well with, actually, who I do have a connection with, and who's a really nice person. But we live too far apart. He's already told me that for a relationship, and he's not. He's more grey asexual than I am. So he might need someone who's more grey, if you know what I mean. Relationship wise. But yeah. And so he's been really honest with me and said he couldn't do the travelling. He could travel occasionally to see me as a friend, but nothing more. So that's really good that he made that decision before I even met this Indian guy, because I feel better that he made that decision, you know? Because I know he has feelings for me, and I have had some for him. But obviously my Indian guy showed up now. But I even throughout that, you know, I want to be with an Indian guy anyway. As you know. Because I'd just be so happy if I'm with an Indian guy. Like I say, just to look at their beautiful face every single day and be around that person will just be incredible. I just know I'd love it, you know? But you see, I don't even know if this guy likes kissing. I don't know. I have no idea. No idea on that. But he didn't say, when I said about kissing. He didn't really say much to that. But when I told him I don't fit into an exact asexual box, he thought I was good, because he said, oh, it's good not to, something about like, he didn't use the word label, but it's good not to make your, basically it's good not to, I think he was trying to say basically it's good not to be so rigid with labeling yourself that you can't actually beat yourself, if you know what I mean. So anyway, yeah, it was all good. Like, I had a really good conversation, because he said, oh, I won't bore you anymore. I said, you're not boring me. I love talking to you. He carried on talking to me, and then said all the nice things about wishing I was there to hug him. I thought that was really nice. We went to see. And yeah. I gave him my card as well, because when I gave him my card, he said, oh, where's this? I said, that's my website. That was when I met him. Before I actually connect with him on Facebook, I gave him my card, but I'm like, I cannot let this guy get away. I need to actually connect with him, like, on Facebook, and I had to get his phone number. I have to be, but I get both. You cannot let opportunities like this slip. I'll do whatever it takes. You know, I'll do whatever it takes to meet my asexual Indian soulmate, whoever that may be or is, whether it's him or someone else. Whoever the Indian asexual soulmate is, I will 100% make sure I get to his heart and be with him. You know that about me. So, but the thing I liked about hugging this guy is I could feel his heart. Like, how can you feel that from just a hug? Like, clearly, when I hugged him, it wasn't even a long hug. It was actually quick. That's what's so strange. Never let such a good opportunity slip past you. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't do it. I knew I couldn't do it. There was no way I was going to let that guy go, because I knew that it's possibly every time I come across an Indian guy, it could be the one. I know that, but the fact I know, and he's asexual, and I found him, it feels so right. I can't say anything else but that. The fact that he thinking about me hugging him before he goes to bed and me thinking the same thing is not really normal. You get that for when you find your soulmate, I think, personally. But I've only just met this guy, so I don't want to say too much, but you know, I've been searching for 6 years to find an asexual Indian soulmate guy in the UK. You know this about me, and he's got to be unconventional. He told me he's unconventional. So yeah, and I know I've impacted him just from the things he said. He said, "Oh, I think you're amazing, inspirational, and thanks for the warmth and positivity you've shown me and kindness." He wishes more people were like me. Right? But I wasn't sure if he was interested in more than friend until he said the hug thing. I mean, I thought he was, but you know, some people these days, they just blur all boundaries and you have no idea what they're thinking, so you can't take it for granted. So it's only when he said about the fact about hugging me before bed, he wished that, to be honest, then that's that he likes me too in that. So yeah, that's what I knew. It's different. So yeah, I'll never, yeah, it was such a good opportunity. But had I not spoke to him, I wouldn't have known he was asexual. I would just, if I'd have said hi and he would have just looked at me weirdly, I would just walked on by. It was a fact that I said hi, like I meant to talk to him, like I knew him or something, and then it's like, wow, look, do you know what I mean? Then I knew he just started talking to me. I knew he didn't want me to just go, because when I was thinking, oh, should I go now or not? Because he's not really, and then he started a conversation talking to me about stuff, and I knew he didn't want me to go. So yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice. I mean, I'm presuming he's monogamous if he gets into a relationship. I would have thought, seeing as he likes marriage anyway, I would have thought he'd be into that, because marriage is usually well, he's not traditional, is he? But I'm not getting married anyway, but I'm just saying. Yeah, because when I said I'm not into marriage, I told him why, basically. So it is what it is. I mean, if he wants to get married, then. But I just told him I wasn't into marriage and why. So I like the commitment, the romance, and the love, but not the actual reality of it. Like, yeah. But he said he likes the philosophical things about it. So I don't know what he meant by that, but never mind. So yes, I have to remember to keep my feet on the ground, because, you know, each time you can get closer to the right person, but it doesn't mean to say that person is the person. But I just very hopeful. I'll keep my fingers and toes and billions of other things crossed myself. and I just think it's a good progress. Yeah, good progress. I can't see him leaving my life anytime soon, if ever. So I think he likes me as a person, if anything happens or not. So this is good. This is good. Thank you, Sam, for your support. Never let such a good opportunity slip past you. I just couldn't. You know what I'm like. I had to connect with him. I'm like, you've got to get this guy's Facebook. You've got to get. But his Facebook wasn't good enough, because he wasn't actually friends with me on there. He hadn't got a friend button. So I'm like, you cannot. You have to get his phone number as well. So I got that both. So that's good. And I'm glad he messaged me first 5 minutes later after I'd finished talking to him. So it was a good sign when a guy does that, because it means he's into you a bit, at least. So yeah, I'm really happy. I could just sit here all night and say this conversation for the next 20 hours, but I think you'd all probably fall asleep by then. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. If you want to celebrate with me and like this video and are happy for me, please give it a thumbs up. I know my best friend Sam has. Thank you, Sam. Also love to you, my best friend. And anyone else who's like, yay! Sandra's had a wonderful experience with an Indian guy who's asexual in the UK. That would be nice. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please hit the great big subscribe button. And please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. and I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Yeah, I'm actually video chatting with my British friend who I get on really well with later on. So that'll be interesting too. Anyway, lots of love to you, and I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Take care, and have a good day. Embrace your quirky and each other's. Bye bye. Lots of love. Bye. Bye, Sam.